I'm John Starwald. I'm the new pastor of Faith Lutheran Church here in Clay, Alabama. And I come to you with a reading on this Monday of Holy Week from Isaiah, the 42nd chapter, the 1st through the 9th verse. Here is my servant, whom I uphold, my chosen, in whom my soul delights. I have put my spirit upon him. He will bring forth justice to the nations. He will not cry or lift up his voice or make it heard in the street. A bruised reed he will not break, a dimly burning wick he will not quench. He will faithfully bring forth justice. He will not grow faint or be crushed until he has established justice in the earth, and the coastlands wait for his teachings. Edward Berger was an electrical engineer who left that profession and then obtained his ordination to be a Lutheran pastor in Eastern Germany in 1964. He lived in the former communist regime of East Germany and served a parish near Dresden. The East German government promoted atheism, but Edward, like so many East German Christians, clung to his faith. Pastor Berger tried to escape East Germany at least one time, and during the early 1960s, he became involved with the Social Peace Service, an East German alternative proposed by Christian leaders, an alternative to the East German Communist draft. Participants of the Social Peace Service advocated for peace, for social justice issues, and for human rights. He was so fervently a part of that movement, and he rebelled so fervently against the East German government, which proposed atheism as a lifestyle, that he was listed by the East German secret police, the Stasi, as a provocateur and as a hostile negative. I met Edward Berger in Greifswald, Germany in the early 1990s, later after he had become the bishop of that church, following the fall of the East German government in the late 1980s. He told me then that he had never been confirmed as a Lutheran teenager, but instead, as a young person, he underwent an indoctrination in the German communist program called Jugendweihe. I marveled at this man who had been in prison, a man who was never able to go through confirmation classes as a young person, a man who had been blackballed by a totalitarian regime and who had been imprisoned, a man who had clung to his faith, or better, his faith had clung to him. He possessed a faith that was fervent, but a faith as a bruised reed. His faith had been bruised, and yet he had been strengthened in those moments. Isaiah addresses people who have felt bruised, who have been occupied, and who had been plundered by their enemies. These are people who certainly may have felt that God had abandoned them. They must have felt bruised themselves and forgotten. But Isaiah reminds the people and his listeners that God will send a servant, one who knows suffering, one whose soul has been bruised as well. But a servant, Isaiah promises, that will remain on task. And what is the task of this suffering servant that Isaiah speaks of? Isaiah tells us that this bruised servant will achieve one single promise, that this servant will redeem Israel, and that redeemed Israel in turn would become the redemption of the world. Now, despite Israel's travails and hardships and struggles, Isaiah reminds them that they will also bring redemption to this world. And that may have sounded impossible by the ears of these people who had lived under occupation for so long. But Isaiah seems to remind us that God never gives us a task, that God also does not give us the gifts to perform that task. We're witnesses to people of faith who have led bruised lives and carried out still God's mission. People like Edward Berger, whose bruised faith clung to him even as he was imprisoned, and led him on to be a leader of the church. The promise of Holy Week, as we enter Holy Week, is that we worship a bruised Savior, a roving rabbi, a first-century Jew who in human form is God among us, Emmanuel, and that he brings to our lives redemption, That is his one single ministry, to redeem us individually and to redeem the world.